Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum. One of the most common and persistent type of arguments peddled by atheists and evolutionists for God not having designed or created life is the junk DNA and vestigial organs argument. These arguments share a similar logic, and an analysis of these arguments shows the utter hypocrisy and dishonesty of atheists and evolutionists. The fact that such a pathetic argument is so widely accepted in Western academia is a massive indication of the bias and self delusion that exists in it. Let's get started analyzing this argument. There are multiple massive problems with this argument. The first problem is very simple and self evident. This argument is based on the same fallacy as God of the gaps. According to many atheists, every single argument for God is a God of the gaps fallacy. What this means is that we do not have a physical explanation of something, therefore, there is no physical explanation for that thing, therefore, God did it. Ignoring the massive problems with this atheist and evolutionist belief, the pathetic part is that junk DNA argument is exactly this fallacy. We do not know the function or purpose of something. Therefore, there is no function of that thing, therefore, it was not designed. This is literally the exact same fallacy. If we do not know the function of something, it does not follow that it has no function, and if it has no function, it does not follow that it was not designed. There is another massive problem with this garbage argument. This argument assumes that an animal or a plant is like a clock. If someone is designing a clock, there would generally not be anything functionless in it. But this is not the case with something like buildings. In a building, early on, some rooms can be empty but later gain uses. Later on, some empty rooms can gain function, and some rooms that were used earlier and end up being empty temporarily before gaining another function again. According to evolutionists themselves, this is exactly what happens with junk DNA and vestigial organs. They have a function, later they lose it, but gain another function. According to them, this is what happens. There is nothing uncontroversial about this. Buildings are clearly designed, and the same thing happens with building happens with junk DNA and vestigial organs. And even if the claim of evolutionists is granted, that something supposedly is functionless right now, their argument is still proven to be garbage using very simple logic. So you can clearly see how pathetic the logic behind this argument is. The funny thing is, the science behind this argument is garbage as well. Nowadays, it is widely recognized by mainstream evolutionary biologists that junk DNA and vestigial organs have functions. Here are some references regarding this fact. I won't read these, but I'm showing these two references here because the video would get too long otherwise. You can clearly read these, and I'm not saying anything uncontroversial or weird here regarding this topic. This is generally accepted. So it is very easy to see that the logic and science behind this extremely common argument for evolution is pure garbage. I go through this topic in much more detail in my book Evolution and Design, Logic and Evidence. The sample chapter and link to buy the book is in the video description. The most pathetic part is that some Muslims who are seen as knowledgeable on the topic of evolution in a desperate attempt to bootlick Western academia will parrot this pathetic argument. This can be found among various Muslim evolutionists who speak on this topic, but for now I'll just give references from two prominent Muslims in this regard, Shoaib Ahmad Malik and Zad Abu Huraira. The references can be seen on the screen right now. And to be honest, I feel it's really sad that Muslims, like, they are blindly accepting such weak and pathetic arguments. As you have seen in this video, this truly is a pathetic argument that no one in their right mind would take seriously unless they turn off their critical thinking skills. For more details on this topic, check out my book. The sample chapters of all my books are linked in the video description. The link to buy the book is in the pinned comment. If you have benefited from my work, you can support me by making a donation to my GoFundMe page. It would really help me out. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum.